Hi, right, I'm just going to quickly go through the activity tracker because the more leads you're generating, the faster you're going to build your business. And there's an old saying, you can teach a man to fish or you can feed him a fish. So if you feed him a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him to fish, then you feed him for life. So the idea is to get as many leads as possible, and you get better as you start doing the leads. And especially with some of the systems we've got now, it's amazing how efficient you can actually manage them leads. First thing is you get 20 to 30 opportunity DVDs out to your warm market. That's people you know. There's lots of people hurting at the minute. You might prejudge they're all right, but I guarantee they're not. There's so many circumstances in the world now where costs are going up, and you'd be surprised that people who you think are well off aren't. So just circulate them around, out the people you know, and you'd be surprised what happens. Just say, look, I've come across something exciting. I just want to have a look at this DVD and see what you think. Next one is have a catalogue plan. 200 catalogues twice a week is a good plan for part-time. The more you actually do, the more you get back, but you can put slips on every one of them catalogues to get leads. So every now and again you just pick up somebody who wants to join. Do exactly the same with the special catalogues at the different times of year. And some people like doing the home demonstrations. The record we've got, a couple did £23,000 worth of sales in 4 weeks, got a check over 10 grand. All them commercial places they're going with the catalogues, the nursing homes, the sort of factories and places like that. You can also live flyers like you're looking for agents as well. And that covers the commercial market. Anybody during the day, you can drop catalogues, chip shops, takeaways, post offices, all them things actually work. Hold a sizzle, that's when you get your team together and maybe teach them all these activities to generate leads. And what you should do with them sizzles is get them to invite some friends along. Or you could actually have a money party where you get people around just to show them opportunity. That's another fantastic way of generating people to join. Attend a meeting with a guest. If you go into a meeting, just drag somebody along to have a look at it. It's amazing how people just say, look, can you come along to this meeting? I would love you to give your opinion on it. Just people love to give their opinions on things. The same for other events like Millionaires Colleges or the big company events in different parts of the country. The more of them you can get to, the better. But this has got the goal. You've got to be going to at least 50 people a week if you want to really get the business moving forward. Because it's not just a couple of numbers. That's not going to do any good at all. The more you go through, the better. So 50 might sound a lot of people to contact, but if you break that down at 10 a night, and if you've got once you've got your telephone skills right, you could have a call done in a couple of minutes. So it doesn't take much time at all. Cards and shop windows, obviously everybody's seen them in newspaper shops, but there's places you can actually put them for nothing, like sort of chip shops, taxi ranks and places like that. Post offices usually let you put them up for nothing. So find a lot of places where you can actually put these up for nothing and generate leads yourself. Adverts in newspapers still work, but not as good as what they did when I joined, because a lot of the stuff that's drifted onto the internet, which I'll explain in a second. Well, actually, I'm not. I'll go to the bottom. If you just go to the bottom below here, there's a link of 2 different sites you can actually get where you can actually buy leads. And the first one also supplies websites with built-in contact managers, which is so important to actually store your leads. You don't need that straight away, but any of the leads that go through that website will be stored in a back office where you can actually remail them. I'll talk about that in a second. Phone other people's advert. If you are going to put an advert in a newspaper and you've seen an advert for something else in the newspaper, phone up and ask how many inquiries they're getting to see if it's worthwhile actually doing it. Cards, flyers, going through the letterboxes on cars, or car boot sales, anywhere where there's lots of people is a great way. Also, if you go to the library, they might have a book there, Think and Grow Rich. If you stick one of your business cards, the next person who picks it up and drops out, you'll think it's fate. Lampposts, put flyers around lampposts. Tie them there, council don't like that, but there's different places where you can actually put them which will generate leads. Car bumper stickers are fantastic now with the traffic being so heavy. If somebody's stuck behind you, all I can say is your car bumper sticker. Wear badges and buttons and pins. That's how I found out about the whole concept of a badge. So people will ask about badge. And if you've got some leads coming in, you've got to follow it up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So if you're new and you've never done any follow-up calls, I recommend you listen to the Danny Johnson telephone training CDs, which you can get from our web shop, which is fantastic to get you off to the start and develop your own skills. If somebody says no, say you're looking for 5 key people, who do you know who might be interested? Ask for some referrals, it doesn't hurt. And every now and again you get some and you never know where it's actually going to lead you to. Recruitment flyers through the door, as well where you're doing your catalogues, is another great way to generate leads. New consumable sales. Use them products yourself. You might find a customer who really likes the products and buying a lot will just join to get the products at a discount, and then guess what? Starts recommending it. And if they get along to a meeting, they'll see the bigger side of it, of the team building side of the opportunity. Try a new product ourselves. We've got 2,000 products in them catalogues, so it's always worth having a product. Try a product yourself you can actually recommend. You wouldn't, if you own Tesco, you wouldn't do your shopping at Sainsbury's. It's as simple as that. Contact your downline. It's no good just signing people up and dumping them. It's your job to look after them. That's where your job starts, to look after them. Use the voicemail and email to communicate with your team, to plug them into your upline loops so they're getting that information on a daily basis. Help your downline to sponsor. You cannot do it for them. You've got to teach them how to fish by generating leads themselves. And help your downline to generate leads. Again, teach them this. And for the ones that's doing the good retail and actually working hard themselves, you can actually reward them with some leads and help them as well. Set goals, targets for yourself and your downline. If you haven't got a goal to go for, you're never going to hit it. Add your web address and web shop to absolutely everything. You never know when somebody's going to find it and come back to you. Make sure your new people read the napkin presentation book or the big picture to see that Clean Easy is a lot more than just about putting catalogues out. And then ensure that your downline plug into the training CDs. The 5 training CDs from the Bidge web shop for £4 are probably the best things you could possibly get to get your new people off to a fast start. So listen to them trainings on a daily basis, especially if you're commuting to work, or you can get it uploaded onto an iPhone or an iPad or whatever it is, Apple iMobile, I can't think of the name of it, but you know what I mean, which you can actually walk around with like the old Walkman. You can do it that way. Listen to them while you're doing your catalogues. Christmas cards to your downline and prospects. Very important to keep do it to your customers, because they love to get in a Christmas card, especially elderly people probably don't get anything like that. And your prospects is a great time to keep remailing them year in, year out. You don't know when the circumstances are going to change. So keep remailing your own contacts. It's fantastic now with an autoresponder. You can, once they've gone into your web shop website below, then they're stored in a back office, and you don't have to take up the autoresponder contact manager bit straight away, but they're there for you when you want to. When you've got over 100, you can start remailing them. Use a mailing list. That doesn't really work as efficiently now because everything's on email, but it would still work through the letterbox. It's all a numbers game. Duplicate what works. If you find somebody in another opportunity, Clean Easy is obviously the best, unless I'd be doing something else. But if somebody else is in another opportunity, they might at the time believe theirs is the best. Usually some kind of pills and potion thing, which is they think's the best thing since sliced bread. But it's difficult to get people to join things like that. So what you could do is say, look, you must have plenty of inquiries coming in. What about swapping some of the people who weren't interested in your opportunity, the ones that weren't interested in mine, and then you can swap some names. So that's a good one. Work wanted or selling business, go on Gumtree or other sites where there's people actually selling businesses, or put signs up there, work wanted. Street survey, you can do surveys in the street. That's on another page there where you can ask people questions, lead them into our opportunity. Radar ears, you might be in a bank and the person in front of you has lost a job and they can't pay their mortgage. Well, we've got the answer to that. We can get them that sorted out by showing them a very, very simple plan, and off they go. And the last one is use a couple more to go. 3-foot rule. Anybody becomes within 3 foot of you, you can break up get into a conversation, and it's great. If you may be stuck in a bus queue or you're travelling somewhere, you say, "Oh, where are you off to?" And they'll say, "Where you're off to," and then you say, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And then they'll ask you, "What do you do for a living?" And there you go. You can tell them what you do. Teach people how to make loads of money. How many people gets junk mail with replied envelopes in? Well, what you can do is just stick a flyer in that envelope. Somebody's got to open up at the other end. And the bottom one is reinvent the wheel. Once you've done all that, then you can think up some new ideas yourself. So what you should be tracking this on a weekly basis. The more leads you get coming in, the better. But you're looking to do 50. So that's 50 week 1, 50 week 2, 50 week 3, 50 week 4. Do that on a consistent basis. You'll eventually start getting good at on the telephone calls, talking to people, and the percentage will actually start joining. So below this video, as I said, there's a couple of links. One to be able to a site where you get your web shop and some leads, and another one where you can just get some leads if you want to top up that activity.